Ladies, gentlemen, and that technicolor rainbow in between, welcome to the first ever RPG session run by yours truly. I would like to say for the record that I am completely confident, calm, and controlled, and am not panicking in the slightest. If you'll excuse me a moment.
And I'm suddenly so glad that I am outside.
I have a feeling he'll be fine.
So before we begin,
Are you okay?
Oh, dude, you didn't throw out your voice, did you?
I'm totally fine.
Okay,
honestly.
Okay, good.
He does that a lot.
Now, sorry. Before we begin, I'd like everyone to, except for Ari, because her character is a little bit of a special case, but everyone else, could you please introduce yourselves and a little bit about your character to get this started? Let's start alphabetically with... Actually, let's start with the person who's most used to this kind of thing. Josh, how about you go first?
All right. Well, I am Josh Scorcher, aka the Fiery Joker, and I am playing a half-elf guardian, heavily modified with the Spheres of Might system, and his name is Kun Anwin.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ash,
anyone who gets that reference gets a cookie.
I do not.
Yeah, I'm ignoring the reference.
Oh god, he gets it.
Oh gosh, you get it? Awesome.
I get a lot of weird things. So yeah, I'm Ash, no aliases by which I go by. I'm playing Korim with an indeterminate last name at the moment. Still going up between about 3 different choices. Who is a modified elven prodigy.
Yep. And Dogi.
Hi, I'm Dogi Crimson. I am playing male tiefling by name of Claus Lunacorva, aka Claus. He's a hedge witch, and he is currently very terrified, just like me.
You should be. You all should be. Alright. Shall we begin this session then?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Centuries ago, a great empire ruled the globe. Aided by powerful Magitech war machines, this empire expanded its territory further and further across the southern hemisphere of the planet until one day, they heard of a mysterious island to the north. The Emperor's 2 youngest sons, Horus and Khan, were set out on an expedition to colonize the island for the glory of the Empire. The disaster struck when they arrived. A powerful storm of unknown origin stranded them on the island and rendered their Magitech inert and useless. For years, the people were scattered and divided, until Horus began a quest to reunite them. He brought the scattered people of the island together in a caldera of a mountain on the southwestern tip of the island. The city Tagura was founded, beginning a golden age of prosperity and peace on the fertile island soil. But not everyone was content with this new, sedentary lifestyle. Khan, younger brother to now King Horus, began to grow impatient with his brother's attitude. Had they not come to this island to conquer it for the glory of the Empire, instead they kept to the island's tip, not even daring to venture into the vast, unexplored jungle to the north. A nation of brave warriors had become a nation of cowards. Others agreed with him, and a rift was formed on the island. Two kingdoms, the Golden Lions, led by Horus, and the Red Tigers, led by Khan, were forced to leave Dagura to form their own capital of Nakat to the east. For 20 years, the two sides were at a tense stalemate, until the unexpected arrival of a fleet of galleons to the island. Coming from the same direction the first settlers had arrived all those decades ago. These newcomers, calling themselves the Black Hawks, were apparently a merchant company, and they seemed very eager to make a deal with either side. Immediately suspicious of the newcomers, both of the island nations agreed to a truce while they figured out who these newcomers were and what they truly wanted, and how they seemed to be able to come and go from the island as they pleased, when every ship the islanders had sent out never returned. However, a recent disaster now threatens that truce. A body recently washed up on the shore, throat slit. It belonged to a Golden Lion research team studying old ruins in Red Tiger territory. The team of 7 had been missing for months, and fingers are now being pointed. A peaceful meeting has been called between the two sides, with Mr. White, Guildmaster of the Black Hawks, offering to both mediate and host these discussions. While still suspicious of the Hawks, the need for neutral ground has forced the islanders to accept his offer. It is imperative that open war does not erupt at this time. For both sides, it would bring disaster. To that end, the Golden Lions have sent a young half-elf named Korim to represent them. Korim was known as a... Sorry, what?
You said half-elf.
Oh, right, sorry. A young elf named Korim to represent them. Korim was known as a skilled warrior and diplomat to both nations, and it is believed that he may be able to earn the Red Tiger's respect. Along with this, they've also sent a young, unassuming tiefling named Claus. Despite his outward timidity, Claus is a prodigious shaman of a spiritual order that preaches pacifism, an order that Horus has been championing as a candidate for a possible state religion. It is hoped that perhaps Claus may serve as a spiritual guide towards a peaceful resolution. What is unknown by many, however, is that Claus is the adopted younger brother of Korim, and the two have not seen each other for many years. Today will be their first meeting since they were young. The Reds, meanwhile, have taken a different approach. Knowing that the opposition sees them as oath-breakers and murderers, they've instead chosen their representative, the Hellhound. A mercenary not known for honeyed words or a silver tongue, but instead for solid, unflinching honesty. A man who never breaks his oaths or his deals. It is hoped that he can reveal the false accusations that lies as just that, false. The grand ship you're on gently rocks and sways upon the calm waters. The room you're in is decorated with brilliant velvet red wallpaper, highlighted with golden frames, candelabras, and other decorations. Portraits of men and women wearing fancy, unfamiliar clothing lines the wall. Several well-cushioned chairs and sofas also line the walls, as well as a small table with various tiny pastries, breads, and cheeses in this waiting room, set up to allow you to make yourselves comfortable before the official meeting. Whoever these Black Hawks are, they're obviously wealthy. Besides the 8 guards, 2 at each entrance, there are only 2 other people in the room besides yourself. 2 of you, Claus and Korim, recognize each other instantly, the face of your brother unmistakable even after all these years. The third man, however, is a stranger to you both, but the insignia of the Red Tigers is clear as day. What do you do?
First things first, Claus is gonna speed run to Korin, take hold of his arm. Help me, 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 help me,
Now I need to get past that. It's been what? How long again since we last met? I can't actually remember how many years have passed.
So long.
Pretty much.
It's it was kind of hard to get out of the sect.
Yep. Still, it's good to see you again. I just almost went and puts hand on head and says that. Petting him like a puppy.
Do you?
Yes. Why would I not in this situation? Still, it is interesting that the two of us are the ones the Golden Lions sent to represent them here.
Coincidences? Maybe, possibly. The world works mysterious ways, and I am still very, very nervous.
Yeah, to be honest, that makes two of us. I just don't show it.
You see this. You see this half elf with very long black hair, and he doesn't look very assuming. In fact, he doesn't look very stocky or bulky at all. And all he seems to carry is just his clothes, which are not very bright, and a single long spear. And he's just staring at you with his piercing ice blue eyes.
Thank you for reminding me of our character description.
Oh yes. Your description for Korim, Ash. I believe Dogi's already posted his art, has he not? Otherwise, you can post his art of Claus.
Okay, so off on one side of the room is Korim. He stands roughly about 6 foot tall, with a very lithe, obviously athletic physique. He's wearing loose-fitting clothing, which, in contrast to Mr. Red Tiger over there, is actually rather colourful. Loose-fitting clothing, easier to move in. He has... Well, you took away the long black hair option, so... I was going to say he's got... Oh, you know what? I'm going to go with long golden hair tied up in a... tied back with a leather thong, and...
You do know that thong means something very different for Americans than it does for Australians, right?
It's a leather band.
Yeah, I'm using it in the third variation of what that word means, which is a leather band. Sorry, I just lost track of what I was saying. With very stormy grey eyes.
Now, when you say athletic, what kind of athlete? Because obviously a football player looks very different than a swimmer does.
Yes, it's more in line with a swimmer's physique than it is with a footballer's physique.
Gotcha. Yeah. Now, is there anything more you'd like to do, or shall we move on to the next part of the story?
Let's move on to the next part.
Yep. So what I'm gonna say is, at any point you guys feel you're done, just let me know. Okay, I'm done, and I, done what I wanted to do in this scene, and we can move on to the next one.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So now I'm going to send you all. Something. So give me a second. I'm gonna PM it to you. Blur. Okay, Ari?
What?
I said, you doing okay, Ari?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Excellent. Just didn't want to have to make you feel like you, just didn't want to make you feel like you were being left out of everything. Alright. At this moment,
Nah, I'm
the
good.
Excellent. At this moment, the two guards part ways and the two large double doors open to reveal the meeting room. A small, elderly man walks up. The meeting is now ready to begin at your leisure, sirs. Please do forgive the delay. The meeting room is dominated by a long wooden table, so immaculately polished that it shines like a mirror. At the end of the table sits a tall man about your age with long, smooth black hair wearing a red uniform. This is the enigmatic Mr. White, Guildmaster Black Horse. Gentlemen, please sit. I'm hoping that we can have this grisly case sorted as soon as possible. Would the three of you like anything to eat or drink? Flanking Mr. White are two muscular men with tan skin and navel tattoos. One, slightly slimmer than the others, has long hair tied back in a ponytail. The other, an even taller and more bulkier gentleman, wears a crew cut. Easily the biggest man in the room, they look down at the three of you with confident smugness. Now, Korim and Kun, I'm going to ask you to make a roll here.
All right. So
I'm
going
going
by
to-
honor system here?
Yep.
Yeah, we tried to share my screen earlier with the rolls, and it just cancelled out the screen share completely for some reason.
Yeah. Now, what you're going to be rolling, you're going to be making a wisdom check, but you are going to add your base attack bonus to the roll.
14.
14?
Yes.
Okay. 14 total?
Yes.
Alright. Ash, how about you?
Of 20 total. Not
Okay.
natural total.
Yeah, I heard the total 5, don't worry. Alright. Ash.
I've had to clarify that stuff in the past because where Shay's concerned, my roles in the past have been ridiculous.
Okay. Ash, you take a look at what they're wearing, the fancy coats and jackets, and you've been in enough fights to realize you recognize armor when you see it. And for the others, yes, this wisdom plus base attack bonus is a new mechanic I've added that will reflect when your character gains insight due to combat experience.
Okay.
So he has offered you a drink and invited you to sit. What do you do?
I sit down.
I sit down. I sit down as well, and I eye the drink, and I say, "What is the drink?"
Ah. Alcohol from the island of Syrah. How is it to your liking, sir?
I do not drink alcohol before a job.
If you wish, then we could have it replaced with water.
Yes, please.
Of course. He clicks his fingers, and the old man takes the bottle and immediately replaces it with one of incredibly clear water. Is that to your satisfaction, sir?
He takes the water and sniffs it. Yes.
Excellent. Now, to business then. As I understand it, the Golden Lions have something that they wish to bring to the table.
Yes. As you know at this point, there has been an incident, we'll say, regarding one of the members from a research team that was exploring. It was a set of ancient ruins, wasn't it?
Yes.
Thank you. I was just making sure that I would remember that correctly before saying the wrong thing. Yes, with the discovery of a member of a research team that was sent to explore a group of ancient ruins within Red Tiger's territory, with their throats slit, and let's just say that it is cause for some concern among the people of the Golden Lions. It, as it stands at the moment, unfortunately, our only cause for suspect is that members of the Red Tigers themselves were the cause of death. We would like those that are responsible for this person's death to be brought before us in order to face justice, judgment, and punishment as is their due. We would rather not risk outright war for this, but with tensions as they are, and with this incident, it has become a very real possibility. As it stands, those are the current charges.
Eyes turn to Kun, waiting to see how he shall respond.
I'm here as a messenger. The Reds had nothing to do with this murder. We knew of the expedition, of course. They had obtained permission to study ruins on the outskirts of a small village called Korim, a place I'd been to more than a few times. But other than that, both sides left each other alone. What we are feeling, and I am communicating this fear, if we are exchanging barbs, that the Lions may try to use the assumption of red guilt in order to justify certain advantages. It is of our opinion that these accusations are baseless. The evidence is not but circumstantial. Khan has sent me rather than himself because of my, for lack of a better word, reputation. I am important enough that I have sway, but I am not important enough that if I am lost, it's not too much of a problem.
So, Mr. White's eyes have briefly gone wide for a second, as has the other members of the Black Hawks, because no one was expecting the Red Tigers to be that direct. You certainly do not mince words, Mr. Unwin.
I am a loyal dog. I follow orders, and one of the orders was to be direct and honest.
I see. Gentlemen, might I ask a question?
As you wish.
Are you saying then, Mr. Unwin, that you do know who is responsible?
I do not know who is responsible, but the one thing that I do share, one sentiment I do share with those Golden Lions over there, is that we both intend to find out who did this.
I take it that neither of you have actually seen the scene of the crime, yes?
Pre or post-crime?
Out of character, he meant post.
No.
Then, Mr. Unwin, would you perhaps be willing to lead them to the site so you can all see what happened for yourselves? If someone from the Golden Lions and the Red Tigers corroborate the same report on what happened at the site, you can both be sure that there was no foul play.
Reasonable.
And if it is agreeable, I would be happy to arrange for one of my smaller vessels to ferry you to the Red Tiger shore. Travel by boat is much faster than horse or foot, after all. And out of character indeed, this would save at least a day's worth of travel.
Reasonable. He slowly turns towards the Golden Lions.
Do you say, Korim?
Hang on, I was just trying to collect my thoughts. So I assume that you have full jurisdiction to allow for us to enter Red Tiger's territory without an incident being caused by it.
You don't attack us, we don't attack you.
Fair enough.
Oh, then I'll be fine.
So, shall we go?
Indeed, it is getting rather late. You are welcome to sleep in one of the many rooms in the ship if you desire. Out of character, you of course have your own tents and bedrolls, but a real room in bed does sound far more luxurious. And as he said, it is rather late in the evening, probably too late to immediately set out on your journey.
Is this meeting concluded?
Is there anything else that Claus or Korim? I'm sorry, but both of you, Mr. Korim, your surname was incredibly difficult to find, and Mr. Claus, yours was, I apologize, difficult to pronounce.
Klaus just chuckles a little bit. I actually don't have a surname.
I see. Still, do either of you have anything more you'd like to say?
I believe for the time being we have exhausted all points of conversation with regards to the situation at hand.
I'd
Then?
rather get more information myself before passing any judgment.
Yeah.
Then it seems that indeed this meeting is concluded. Gentlemen, I suppose I shall see you at a later date.